The parks in Chicago are the Chicago residents' backyard. Had they not been there, I'm sure Chicago would have a very different landscape.
Anytime you're able to be a part of something that is an iconic landmark type project that is going to create a space for communities to enjoy and connect communities for years to come is just a very unique opportunity. It's very rewarding to see all your hard work pay off in such a fun and meaningful way.
If you see older images of what the city was before, they seemed very out of context, and it takes a tremendous amount of vision to say, this is going to be an incredible addition to shape the city.
That was one of the best things that they could have done in the city, is to set the lakeshore path for every Chicagoan to use that, and nobody puts their flag in and builds a building to ruin it for everybody else.
I would say everybody benefits from parks. I think it's a place where people pull together, people meet their neighbors, and that's where community happens.
I would definitely say we've lived up to the motto, City in the Garden. The Chicago Park District is over 8,200 acres, and we have 26 miles of lakefront within our system and over 585 parks. So we're in pretty much every neighborhood in the city at this point.
Well, the 606 is a walking, jogging bike path on the near north side of the city of Chicago. What's unique about it is it's been there for 100 years, only its former life, it was a railroad viaduct.
One of the major challenges we faced was the fact that nearly all of the work took place 15 feet above street level on an almost 3-mile stretch. So fall protection was a constant concern for us.
You need tools and proper techniques, but the attitude is primary. Matter of fact, our tradesmen and our supervision, when they're up there with the hard hat, receive nothing but praise and thanks, as if we delivered it single-handedly, which is nice. So the Riverwalk is a way to allow people closer to the water.
The way the Riverwalk used to be, it would stop at each bridge house, so you'd be able to move in any one independent block but not get around the bridge houses to keep walking whichever direction you were heading in.
So we were extending land out, you might say. We're creating 25, 30, as much as 50 foot of land where there used to be water.
We also have to coordinate with the city, because if we're moving a crane from one block to the other, it doesn't fit underneath the bascule bridges, so we end up having to do a bridge lift, which means them stopping traffic for a certain period of time. So the Fullerton Shoreline is a job that we're actually wrapping up right now, and it involved the rehabilitation of the shoreline at Fullerton Avenue, and then also the creation of about 6 acres of new park space.
Technically we are filling, a portion of the lake, which a year ago had, lake water in it, about 10 feet deep, in fact, in the deeper areas.
We immediately identified some issues with the drawings and some design concepts that, if they were modified, would really help the overall project, to allow us to not lose as many days due to being flooded out by Lake Michigan.
The lake is not to be taken lightly. I mean, we've, even in our period of time out there, experienced some 18-foot waves. We don't need those waves to wipe out what we've built.
Maggie Daley Park is a project that actually came out of necessity. The Park District had aging infrastructure beneath with the 3,700 car parking garage that's actually beneath the park.
And that was basically the genesis of Maggie Daley Park. It's like, okay, since we are going to redo all this, we need to put a new park in place. Our idea was to lift you up a little bit, to be aware of the surroundings, to start seeing the lake, to start discovering from a different elevation. But it was a pre-existing structure that had weight limitations.
So they end up utilizing geofoam, a lightweight foam material. Some areas it's a foot thick, some areas it's 15 feet thick. And to coordinate all that work was a Herculean effort.
The 606 was a space that used to function as an active rail line years and years ago, and has been inactive and a bit of an eyesore actually in the community for years and years. And just to repurpose that as something that's beautiful, that the entire community can enjoy and brings them together, is sort of the ultimate statement in sustainability.
Each block has a theme. The plants right down to the stones and to the markers and the art all have a theme that, without reading about it, you might not catch it all.
There's just stunning landscaping to be viewed along the entire length of the path. That makes for a very unique experience.
I've taken my family down there and run it. and I enjoy it. The mile markers are well laid out, and you can tell how you're doing, and I enjoy it as a user. I'm a city resident, and enjoy seeing other people use it too that don't even know the background of it.
The Fullerton Shoreline project does create a unique experience, a unique space where you can enjoy the park, you can see the city, you've got this beautiful revetment that's fending off the waves.
There were issues that needed to be faced, and we faced them head on together and were able to overcome them. And as a result, that job is getting finished on time and under budget.
And already we've seen folks walking by as we start to expose portions of the site to view, people stopping and taking pictures, and bicyclists and runners who normally don't stop for anybody are stopping, which to me is the public's way of saying, good job.
When this current project is completed, we will have built Riverwalk sections from Lake Street all the way to Lake Michigan.
Each block has a theme. One block's called the theater, and there's planned productions of plays and music that will actually be on the water as well, and you'll sit on the theater steps looking at the production.
The Jetty is an interesting block. What they're envisioning is you're going to walk along these floating gardens, and obviously you're going to see the beautiful plantings, but you're also going to, I think, be able to look down and see fish congregating around you in that space. So it really, when it's done, I think it's going to be very unique.
So it's coming alive for boaters and kayakers and just people who want to be close to it. So that's a good thing for the city.
The ice ribbon at Maggie Daley Park is such a unique experience. There's areas where you're skating uphill, there's areas where you're skating downhill, and what I always like to tell people about it, if you've skated before, you haven't skated like this.
We wanted to bring this idea of skating throughout the woods. I wish I could have, when I was younger, that I could have had that close to my home.
There's also the enchanted forest. They took the old honey locusts that were in the original park, turned them upside down, and made mazes out of them.
So contained within the ice ribbon are two signature rock climbing walls. We believe they're one of the largest publicly accessible outdoor climbing sculptures.
I'm going to tell you that we had fun designing this play garden in particular. Kids are going to be challenged. Kids are going to try different things.
I feel like that tower bridge is the beacon for children when they arrive in the park. I've observed them coming into the park and pointing at the orange bridge in the distance and making a beeline for it. And parents can hope to keep up.
Maggie Daley is a very integral part of Chicago's history. She worked a lot with the kids. This is an homage to her and all the efforts that she put in, and all the efforts that I think the city appreciates for the years and years of service that she's given back.
I think we did something right, but most importantly, I see kids that are from the city. Hundreds of kids from schools. If you will see in the summer, it was just packed. Throughout the summer, which was 2.5 months, about 500,000 people went to the playground alone. And that is significant, and that tells you that the park is successful.